The cover-up of Joe Biden's cognitive decline took a dramatic turn this weekend with yet another cover-up. Speaker Mike Johnson pushes the big, beautiful bill, plus former FBI Director James Comey's troubles continue to grow. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the 13-minute news hour. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start with the Joe Biden cover-up because in just the course of the last couple days, we've been presented with a wealth of information that, although it leads to more questions, we certainly get a clear picture that Joe Biden was not and is not healthy, both mentally and physically, and hasn't been so for quite a long time. On Friday, excerpts were released from Joe Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur, who was conducting an investigation on Biden's unauthorized possession of classified documents. If you recall, Hur decided not to prosecute because Biden's memory was too faulty. That's right. While Hur said Biden was not in a proper mental state to stand trial, the media and Democrats said that Biden was in a proper mental state to be president.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Yes, the Democrats were all in, covering up for years of Biden. Years of Biden declining, the Democrats covered it up. They lied to the American public, and the media went along with it. This is without a doubt the greatest scandal and cover-up in our history.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
That clip is just priceless. MSNBC and all the media outlets took gaslighting to a whole new level. But we all know what we saw and heard. Biden having conversations with dead people, wandering off on his own, mumbling and failing to complete basic sentences. And now we have the Hur tapes, which confirm that Biden was losing it. Here's one excerpt where Biden is being questioned on where he kept documents on projects he was working on.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18 area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way,
in that clip, Biden confirms the time frame in question, 2017 or 2018, but then relates it to his son, Beau, who had, quote, been deployed or is dying, end quote. But Beau died back in 2015. The tapes contain example after example of Biden not being able to recall events or just drifting off, long pauses followed by rambling responses. So, how are the media dealing with this breaking news? CNN's Jake Tapper has a book about the Biden cover-up that comes out this week, so it's the perfect news story. Dive deeply into the Biden cognitive cover-up. How bad was it? Who was running the country? So many questions, and that's today's breaking news, and it's dominating the headlines, right? Nope. This is the left-wing legacy media, and what they are covering is the sudden news that Biden has advanced prostate cancer. Apparently, it just appeared out of nowhere over the weekend. Yeah, right. Last year, Biden's physician gave him a clean bill of health and proclaimed him fit for service. On Newsmax this morning, Dr. David Samadi was asked about the fact and that now Biden suddenly has very advanced and aggressive cancer.
It's very odd to see someone being great a year ago and completely normal with no rise of PSAs, no problem, and all of a sudden within a year they would have prostate cancer, Gleason 9 with metastasis. So something doesn't make any sense. We need to look at these PSAs for the last 10 years or so, and I hope this was not missed, or there's more to the story than what it seems like.
So what is going on here? A cover-up to a cover-up, which is also a cover-up? Biden is gone mentally, and the Democrats and the media covered it up. Now with books coming out and the Hur tapes being released, these same forces are releasing this medical information to cover up the cover-up. However, multiple physicians have gone on record saying something this advanced doesn't just pop up, especially on someone who is screened and checked out so much. So now there's another cover-up? This is crazy, but it shows the lengths the left will go in order to prop up Biden and push their extreme agenda. All right, next, let's talk about the big, beautiful bill. But first, if you're new to the show or haven't subscribed yet, regardless of platform, just search out my name, hit that subscribe button, make sure notifications are turned on. That way you can follow the show and help us grow. Okay, next let's talk about President Trump's big, beautiful bill. House Speaker Mike Johnson has been pushing the bill, but he has faced opposition from Republicans such as Chip Roy regarding certain delayed aspects of the bill. The House Budget Committee met on Sunday night to address concerns regarding the bill by some conservatives who voted against it in committee a few days earlier, Friday. Following assurances by Johnson that their issues would be addressed, the 4 Republican holdouts voted present on Sunday and thus allowed the bill to move forward. One of the concerns involved Medicaid work requirements. The goal has been to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, and one of the failings of the Medicaid is that too many able-bodied men are collecting and not even trying to work and get off government assistance. The bill provision pushed by conservatives would implement a work requirement. Seems like common sense, right? Well, the requirement made it into the bill, but it wouldn't take effect until 2029. That's right, 2029, after Trump is out of office. It's a savings with no savings. It's an action with no action. Here's an update.
This is a victory for now for the supporters of the big, beautiful bill, allowing the legislation to head to the Rules Committee later this week. But some GOP hardliners indicate the bill is still going to need changes before it clears the House. The House Budget Committee's vote to advance the bill is a turnaround after 4 GOP hardliners rejected it on Friday. Some of their concerns included Medicaid work requirements and spending. House Speaker Mike Johnson said there were a lot of conversations over the weekend to try and address these issues.
The 4 dissenting Republicans changed their vote from no to present based on assurances and not actual changes to the bill over the weekend. Budget Committee Chair Jody Arrington told reporters that the bill voted on Sunday night was the same bill that was voted down on Friday. Here's more.
As for what type of assurances these holdouts got, they include speeding up the timeline for those Medicaid work requirements and reducing some of the green energy tax subsidies under the Biden administration. Representative Ralph Norman, one of the fiscal hawks, says they got assurances in writing. Representative Chip Roy warning on X the bill still does not meet the moment.
There will certainly be more negotiations, but the key is to not let this moment go to waste. We have a chance to cut the budget, to balance the budget, to pay down the debt, and it feels like nothing is getting done. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has made an excellent series of posts recently regarding the budget. She reminds readers that we need rescission bills, which will implement DOGE cuts. We need bills to codify the president's executive orders. Trump has been signing EOs since day one. Where are those bills? The Republicans need to get moving. Next, let's talk about former FBI Director James Comey, who's under fire for a post he made regarding a, quote, cool shell formation, end quote, while he was walking and enjoying a day on the beach. According to Comey, he was just walking along and stumbled upon seashells, which were neatly laid out in an arrangement of 86-47. Now, everyone knows that President Trump is the 47th president of the United States, and most people know what 86 means. In restaurant terms, it means to leave something off the menu, but it also means to off someone, to eliminate them. So, this message is quite clear on the intent. Comey, on the other hand, appeared to be clueless that the shell arrangement that he just happened to find meant anything sinister at all.
James Comey questioned by Secret Service agents today at their Washington field office after the former FBI director was accused of making threats toward President Trump in a Thursday Instagram post. Comey posting an image of the seashells in the shape of the numbers 8647. 86 is a slang term for getting rid of. Trump is the 47th president. After backlash, Comey removed the image, saying he was unaware that the numbers were associated with violence.
Now, reaction to Comey's post has been strong, and understandably so. President Trump has faced 2 assassination attempts, one in which multiple people were injured and one died. This is serious business, and there are crazy people who are likely to ready to pounce when given the go-ahead from such a prominent anti-Trumper. Here's Principal Deputy Press Secretary Harrison Fields with the White House reaction.
Right now, this issue stands with the United States Secret Service. They are in charge of all the protectees, the president being their main protectee, and we will talk to the Secret Service about next steps there. But overall, the administration is going to be ready to do whatever this investigation, if there determines to be one, to hold people accountable. This is dangerous rhetoric. We've seen 2 individuals try to assassinate the President of the United States and President Donald Trump. This cannot happen.
It's amazing how the Democrats will claim that facts in honest debate constitute harmful rhetoric or hate speech, but when actual harmful rhetoric occurs, they're silent. But that's why people say that if the Democrats didn't have a double standard, they'd have no standards at all. And next, here's some rapid-fire headlines from around the country. First, as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez flies across the country with Bernie Sanders to fight the oligarchy, the one thing she has clearly left behind is her own district. As reported by the New York Post, major crime has risen 70% in her district since she took office. That number is more than double the citywide average. District resident Guadalupe Alvarez told the Post that AOC isn't, quote, doing bleep. She doesn't live in the neighborhood. She doesn't care, end quote. Next, the Supreme Court on Monday lifted a lower court's block on President Trump's order to revoke, quote, protected status for hundreds of thousands of migrants living in the U.S. As reported by the Gateway Pundit, the High Court allowed the Trump administration to strip approximately 350,000 Venezuelans currently in the U.S. of their protected status. Ketanji Brown Jackson was the lone Supreme Court justice to dissent. Recall, this was one of the ways the Biden administration tried to say that illegal immigration was going down, because he said that a huge number of illegals were suddenly legal. Finally, Hillary Clinton recently gave a speech in which she slammed the Trump administration's efforts to encourage Americans to have more children. As reported by the Gateway Pundit, Clinton claimed that this was what migrants are for. Clinton said, quote, the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants. One of the reasons why our economy did so much better was because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a larger than normal family, end quote. What economy was she looking at? Friends, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, today's show's one sheet is available to Patreon supporters using the link in the description. The one sheet gives you the links to all the videos and stories used on today's show, so you can dive even deeper into each issue. And with that, our next show will be Monday evening at the usual time. Until then, I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour. All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.